Akash Inti, the real reflection of you. It's almost 6 a.m. right now. I'm still breathing. I don't know why, but today it felt like, or I guess whatever you might define today as, but since I last slept, I feel a sense of peace. It's feeling like a great weight was lifted off of my shoulders. I'm noticing how my communication dictates my state. In other words, the things that I say and talk about myself right now will dictate how I inevitably feel in the future. And it's the small little things that we don't necessarily observe. That's why I found more often than not, it's almost better to just keep your mouth shut and not say anything. Maybe one day I'll do that. I'll do a 5-minute video of just me staring into the camera. Because isn't that almost speaking much more than any words that I could say? Isn't that more impactful? An individual who says so much through their eyes, so much through their being, so much through their breathing, their breath. You know, I've always had this fantasy, and it's foolish, but I'm a fool. This fantasy of falling in love with someone without ever saying words to them. This idea of meeting a beautiful woman and communicating only through my body language, through my breathing, through my gestures. No need for language for us to understand each other. It almost feels like it would be easier to communicate to that person. And yeah, someone might be like, oh, well, you wouldn't be able to talk about this, you wouldn't be able to talk about that, or you wouldn't have much to relate about. And I would almost say that we would almost have more to relate about. We'd cut the bullshit. There's no need for it. And then we would get back to our lives, to our businesses, to our friends, to our family. But then again, I'm just a fool, so don't listen to the fool, unless the fool is the genius, and the genius is the fool. It's never really understood who's the brilliant ones, you know. Brilliance is only defined, from what I've found, by the context and through a perspective. The geniuses of today are oftentimes the idiots of tomorrow. And the idiots of tomorrow are often the geniuses of the future. And as I say all of these words right now, they kind of make sense, but they also kind of don't. And it seems like I'm just talking random crap out of my mouth. But am I? I don't really know myself. And I prefer to keep it that way because I like to not know. One of my favorite phrases and sayings as a child was, I don't know. And I remember being reprimanded and scolded for saying that. I remember being made fun of for saying, I don't know. Like, oh, you don't know? What do you know? You see, I found more often than not words are almost a waste. The ways that people use words are so wasteful. And I'm no different because I am a people. I am a person. I like the way the word people sounds. People. I noticed that one of my mentors, Rosh, whenever he says people, I just crack up to myself. Because it's a funny word. People is a funny word to me. Anyways, people. It just sounds funny. Looking at my clothes right now. I like my wardrobe. I can't wait to see how I redesign it. It's one of the things I love to do. Love coming up with new fashion ideas. Really challenging. Bucking the trend as to what does men's style look like? Because after all, you can teach fashion, but you can't teach style. Keep up, thrive, stay sexy.